Good morning everyone, it's David here, 10 to 9 on the 7th of September. I wanted to do this video earlier on today, but I got distracted and wanted to wait for the bell to get some trades done. So I just wanted to have a quick market recap over the last few days, because we covered this price action before it happened in our videos previously. As people know, if they're not on the forum, we don't do hindsight trading. We started talking about these potential levels when we were back here on Thursday last week. So I just wanted to have a quick chit chat about that, just because it goes over what I discussed in the moving average video I did and just confirms some of it. Steve spoke about this in the video yesterday, which was a rejection off of this 1 hour 200 or the 4 hour 50, whichever one you use. They're both pretty much the same. And then I wanted to mainly talk about this rejection just here on the 15-minute chart and why it happened, because it's quite easy to understand when you start understanding about moving averages. So quickly, let's have a quick look at this overview. So, as we said I said in my video, this was support, it's now resistance. Okay, and last week when I was talking about a moving averages strategy, talking about what had to happen in order for this 15-minute to break, in order for these to break, it has to consolidate, it has to soften, and this is what happened here. I'll just show you on the 15-minute. If you remember, I was talking about this down channel. If this 200 had to break, what had to happen for it to act as support, and we said how it needs to consolidate to allow this to turn off. So it can be broken, it will be retested, it will consolidate to see if it acts as support, which is what it did. And then obviously, I think it was Friday, I can't remember now, I think we said about the next levels that are going to be tested on the way up. And I think we did them, I think we did a video around here Monday, and we said maybe the 1 hour 100. I don't pay a huge amount of attention to the 100 MA, which is why it's dashed out. I said, but firstly, we're going to see this level retested, because we might see a 1 hour divergence, which we did. It wasn't a huge retrace because it's not really a resistance level, but we did have sort of a 40 pip down move. This here was the big one, which Steve went over yesterday. Again, I spoke about the angles of moving averages. The higher the time frame, the higher the moving average, the steeper they are, the stronger they are. So this was never going to break. Okay, it's no different. It's a very similar pattern to here. When people are thinking every time you have a move, the price is going to come crashing straight down, it won't. Okay, it has to be tested, and it's strong support here. It's now strong resistance. You can see this. Okay, and if you get an understanding of these fluid support resistance lines on a higher time frame, you can scale it into the smaller time frames. Get an understanding of them here. It's really clear, really easy to see. So this was not going to break. Okay, if the price comes back up here, continues to consolidate, then yes, maybe this will start to soften. It will start to flatten out because it's giving an average price. So the longer the price stays up here, then the more the average price will change, allowing the 200 to flatten. Therefore, it could potentially be broken. So, but what happened yesterday? So like I said, Steve spoke about this here. I'm not going to go over this. What I am going to talk about is this here. Why did we have this rejection? Okay, it's no different to these rejections here and here. It's just on a lower time frame. If you pretend that you haven't seen what's happened yet, you have a steep 200 MA on the 15-minute channel. Okay, and it's already been acting as support along here. So this is going to be tested. It's not going to come crashing through. And if you scale it in to the 1 minute chart, there's a divergence here. I took a long off of it. Let's go across to see it. It's just here. Okay, I took a long here. I only took about 5.7 pips off of it because I was trading in my phone. Couldn't look at the other time frames, which I'm now kicking myself for. So the divergence started to form here, where you could have gone long. Again, I've mentioned I start small, I then get bigger, so I would have gone smaller here. I would have then gone bigger down here, because this here was almost a second little divergence within a bigger 1 minute divergence. So that's where I went long. There's your take profit if you want. there's your take profit. Or if you want to be really aggressive, you can target the previous high up here. So the price broke back up. We had flat 1 minute line still. The 5 minute was also flat at the time, you see. So this, when it's like this, it means it's going to be choppy. It's going to consolidate. Okay, and it's what we had all day yesterday. There are plenty of short opportunities up here. There are plenty of long opportunities. I had a cracking day yesterday. I did over 200 pips just on the FTSE, just day trading, just scalping, all within this area here. So what happened again? Again, to cover what Steve said, the divergence is up here. So we then started to have more 5 minute divergences. You can see here, here, and we're lower down on the oscillators. It's exactly the same on 1 minute. We had the same on the 5 minute. The one thing I will show you on a divergence, sometimes the price doesn't always have to go to the same previous price. It doesn't have to go higher than the previous high. If you look at the angle at the top of these wicks, they're following the 1 hour 200 MA. So that's showing the downward momentum. Okay, that's showing the push up, the pressure down. So that also indicates it's not going to go back up. So I didn't take a trade off the top of that. I initially went short here, kept it small. I was waiting for 25 because I did want to see it get higher. It didn't happen. So I went short here. I went short again here. I took profit on this one down here. I think I closed that one for +2, closed that one. I then waited for a bit more depth. I closed this short down here when this little 1 minute divergence came up. It's always a good exit. See, here's a divergence. So that was my exit. We then had more down pressure. Okay, and as this started to happen, look back on the 15 minute, you'll start to see what happened to the MA. Okay, it started to flatten. Now this started to flatten here. So this to me was indicating this is going to potentially break. And you can see how the difference now with the 20 MA coming down, the 50 flattening, very different picture to here on this first test. Okay, and it's the same on the 5 minute chart. It starts to look very different. So I was taking some shorts off of these support levels. Again, I wasn't targeting anywhere down here because this was still support. Okay, so that was my target price back down to the 200 MA. You're getting quite a lot of little divergences. There's longs off of here as well. You can take them straight back to the 200. My last one I took of the night was here. I think it put me on 213 pips. I think at the end of the day, I took +10 down here, and I did a stop on, I think, +2 pips on the rest. So I took half of it here, and I thought I'll leave it overnight because what you can see, the reason I left it was because I was convinced it was going to break because it was flattened. And if you can look, you can always see a triangle as well. So you've got a flat bottom, steep angle down, that's showing the downward pressure. And there is a saying that if you stamp on the floor long enough, it will eventually, your foot will eventually fall through it. And that's what happened overnight. Very annoyingly for me, this small retrace when the Asia session opened took out my stop, which was annoying because I did have a target of 40, which did get hit. So that's yesterday and the day before. Just wanted to explain some trades. Again, it's not hindsight. It's all posted on our forum. If you're not on it, come and have a look. So today, what have we got? Well, firstly, I took a short here this morning because we had a divergence as it was on the 5 minute 200 MA. So that's a nice entry. Because it was the bell about to happen, I actually closed it sort of like just over 5 pips because I didn't want to get a spike on the 8 AM bell because sometimes it could rocket and then you got to, trying to get rid of the trade. So I thought I'd take profit, have a clean board. So we had some downward pressure. Again, still off a divergence, still off a resistance line. Straight down. There was a couple of long opportunities here. There's a few of us have taken one. I took one, took profit on one, then took one again. And now as soon as it broke down below this level, you can see this 50 MA under pressure. And this is why I have two charts so I can look at them both. As soon as this happened, I closed along, very small, took a few minus few pips. Price then came down. We started to get divergences long, flagging up. It's a nice little one there you can take. I took trying to think now where it was. I took a long around on one of these somewhere. It didn't work out, so what I did when the price broke down, I placed a bigger short with a target when the short would create bigger profit than the loss on the long. And that's how I trade, that's how I hedge. You're not taking things at a loss if you're still making profit. So where are we going to be now? So as you can see, what happens when you lose moving average support, which is what we've done. We've got nothing below us anymore. So you look back, you look left at the previous lows. And here is our support line. This here, and sure enough, it's exactly where we bounced. And again, this is still divergences. Okay, tricky to speak, especially when you get a lot of them. So we had a bounce. We've still got a 200 MA 15 pointing up. This can still be tested. We're not done with this area yet. So this is just me talking now about what could happen for the rest of the day. So I'll just put on a slightly higher time frame. So here, this is still of interest for me. Okay, I don't see a reason why the price still can't come and test this. We've got a very bullish rejection here. So we've got this level here, 66. Okay, this can still be tested because it's still pointing up. It can still be broken. You know, when it's pointing up, it's probably not going to act as resistance very strongly. Okay, if it breaks, we can come back up here. We can retest the 1 hour 200 or the 4 hour 50. The longer the price stays here, this will start to flatten. We might see some more upside, okay? But it needs to consolidate, it needs to flatten. If we're going downside, we could still get some more rejection from this level. We could still get some more rejection from this here. If we do, we're looking back at the previous low and the morning's low. I'd be looking for some more divergences here, see if I can get some more long entries. If this area breaks, I'm looking back at previous lows again. So I'm then going back to 71.50. I'm then going back to 71.30. Okay, so there's my that's where my eyes are on for later in the day. If we get some downside, upside, again, very clear, back to the 200 resistance. Okay, so that's it. That's me. Okay, just bear in mind, okay, this is just all price action. You know, we're not going to the moon. We're not falling through the floor. Okay, we're just we've been in a bearish down channel, which is what this is, and we've had a bullish retracement. As we keep talking about, when we trade moving averages, we trade from one moving average channel to another moving average channel. So if you want to swing trade it, you take the longs down here, you can target this long term back to here. I was very tempted to enter a swing trade short myself here, because it's been proven now for a few times that you can take a trade off of here, and you could leave it, and you could leave it 2-3 days, stick on a futures contract so it's not on your chart. That's how I do it. And again, so if we come back up here again, I might consider it if it looks right, and I will be targeting back to the previous low. So best of luck, everyone. Hope that beginning bit helps you understand the moving averages, and I hope the levels for the day give you some nice entries. So all the best. I'm back to it.